This is your sign. What goes around comes around. Hi, welcome back to Sweet Infinity. My name is Kieran. I'm on a 30-day quest to read a card from one of my tarot decks or one of my oracle decks and go over the artwork and the interpretation that I'm feeling at that moment, hoping that it resonates with you. So today, I'm going to be reading from the Lightseers deck. This is a deck by Chris Ann. I've read from this before. I shall go ahead and shuffle. Now, this is a deck that has some really gorgeous art, very unique, handmade quality, and just cool looking art. You know me, I'm just a sucker for good art. This is actually a very popular deck. I've seen a lot of other tarot readers use this online. It's quite popular, maybe because it's so colorful and interesting and expressive. So I'm going to shuffle this and then we can get started. Please remember to like and share this video. I would love for you to leave a comment and tell me if you have seen the other videos that I've made in this series and if there's anything that you like that I should do more of. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. All right, let's pick a card. We have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. So I'm going to read the interpretation from the booklet for this card, and then I shall go into my interpretation of it. The Seven of Pentacles. You're almost there. You've been doing the work, and your wildly successful roots are showing. You may not see the fruits of your labor yet. Know that they exist, and that any lack you're feeling is simply residual energy that's being worked through. It's time to fall into faith and to pause and give thanks. Realize that you are the living, breathing result of all of your memories, hopes, and hard work. Keep going. This moment gives you a divine interlude to revisit your purpose and direction. Your arrival is possible only after you pinpoint the destination. Has your journey shifted so much that what you originally germinated is not the thing you desire to harvest? What needs to change to satisfy your deepest intentions? If you are feeling any frustration or lack of progress, remember that giant dreams are not built in a day. Take a moment to breathe and reflect as these profound sacred breaths can reinvigorate and realign. An affirmation for this card is, as I give thanks for what I am about to harvest, I know that my life is headed in the right direction. Another app that I use called the Galaxy Tarot app. I have that here, and I'm going to read the interpretation or the description of that card in this app just to get another perspective. The Seven of Pentacles often appears when we need to take stock of our projects, turning a critical eye to what is working and what needs to change. Although we may have already invested a lot of energy into something, it is not yet time to reap the rewards. However, the early results give us an opportunity to learn from our mistakes, see what works well, and compare the outcome to the goals and vision we had when we started. The Seven of Pentacles asks us to be honest with ourselves while we use real-world feedback to measure our progress. Keywords: assessment, feedback, patience, perseverance, and gestation. So this is a card about being in the middle of it, being in the thick of it, and having planted roots, whether this is actual roots if you're a gardener of some kind, or it's some kind of roots for an idea, some kind of seeds that you have planted for a new business or a new venture or a new piece of art or a new idea or a new relationship. Seeing that it's starting to take root. You see the seeds beginning to sprout. You have to take care of them at that point. You have to nurture them at that point. And it can be frustrating sometimes because not all the seeds that you planted will take root, and sometimes the process takes longer, and sometimes there's other issues along the way that you have to take care of that you maybe didn't foresee, but that's part of it. This is the time to look at what you have so far, what has already germinated, and what it needs now. That could mean looking at the results that you have so far in the venture or business or project or relationship that you're working on, and seeing what else is needed, because there might have been a change in even what you want out of this thing, and you have to assess. So this is the phase of life that a lot of us, find ourselves in at different times in life, where you have to assess whether the thing that you've started is achieving what you think you need, or if your needs have changed, or if the thing that you're doing needs something else. So this is a very crucial phase. It's that part that's sometimes missed because a lot of us, I will mention myself, tend to have this tendency to flip from one thing to another. And this is a phase that is difficult sometimes. If you don't have the patience, which I am learning to cultivate, this requires patience. This requires sitting and watching. This is a scientist sitting and watching the bacteria grow in the petri dish, for days and days and days. I'm thinking of Dr. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek TNG. This is that. This is that phase. This is that part of the journey, which can be, for lack of a better term, boring, but it's very important because that gestation period, the pregnancy period where the thing is growing, but it's not yet ready, that is critical for the thing that you're trying to grow, whether it's a baby or a business idea or whatever. If you don't go through that process in the correct way with the right sustenance that idea or baby needs, then you have problems later. Very important to stick to it, have patience, figure out what is needed at that time, continue to assess the situation, continue to pay attention to the situation, do your research, talk to people, go to the experts, go to the doctor, but figure it out because this is a very, very crucial period. If you notice here in this picture, this person is looking at the roots, he's looking at the plant and we can see the roots underneath here. And then he's got his hands up here and he's sort of, I don't know if you can tell in here, his hands are giving off this energy to the roots. So he's focused on the plant and his hands are giving, there's this like yellowish energy coming out of his hands going towards the roots. And the roots are responding by lighting up. Now, there's some amazing research out there that tells you that plants can respond to how you talk to them. The same kind of plant can wilt or flower, blossom, depending on how somebody talks to the plant. If a human gives a plant, positive thoughts while sitting in front of it, literally sort of telepathically talking to them, plant will grow and blossom. And the same plant will wilt and die if the human talks very negatively to them. So that's weird, but there's research out there about that. And so this reminds me of that, where this person, he wants this plant to grow and he's using this energy and positive energy, loving energy to nurture the roots, right? So that's so important that you do that and that you have somebody who does that for you in your life. If you are attempting to give birth to something, to an idea, to a project, it's very important that you surround yourself with people who are able to nurture that, and that you remove people from your life as much as possible who don't nurture that. And if you can't remove them, obviously, from your life, sometimes we can't leave the situation we're in, well, then you need to find a way to have your boundaries where you keep your idea or the thing that you're trying to create or give birth to in this world. You keep it protected. You keep it safe from people who might not have the best intentions towards it. And you find a way to get yourself into a situation where you can nurture it and you can be around somebody who also nurtures it. And that's very important in life too. We are very much shaped by our environment. So the people around you affect you. The people around you affect how you see yourself, how you see the world, what you're able to achieve, what you think you are able to achieve. If you are trying to create something, if you are trying to build something, if you're trying to change something, and you are around people who are constantly putting you down, who constantly don't believe you, who are constantly doing the opposite of this, then that flower in your life is going to wilt. You need people, at least one or two people in your life, who will help it grow. And if you have those people, then cherish them. And you can also be those people, of course. But what I'm saying is you need that too. You need somebody, and you deserve somebody who will do that for you, for your ideas. Give yourself time to think about that. Allow yourself to nourish your ideas, to grow your ideas, and allow yourself to be with people, to be around people, to talk to people who help you do that. That's very important. There's a saying, maybe you're not depressed, maybe you're just surrounded by a-holes. Of course, there is such a thing as depression. But I also believe surrounding by bad people, by the wrong kind of people, is very much related to feeling depressed or feeling powerless. Even if they're related to you, does not mean that they're good for you. That can happen. And there can also be complications. Somebody could be very good in some ways and very toxic in other ways. You have to assess that for yourself. The bottom line is, if you are trying to create or build something or give birth to something, you owe it to yourself and to that thing that you're trying to create in this world to put yourself in a place where you are nurtured so that you can nurture that which you want to create. And if you have such people in your life, cherish them, love them, thank them. It will make them nourish you back. Seven of Pentacles. Grow in peace. Live long and prosper. I hope this was useful for you. Please like, share, all of the fun stuff. Subscribe, hit the bell icon that's on the bottom, and leave me a comment. What are you trying to grow in this world? What are you trying to grow in your life? I'd love to hear from you. I will be back with another card reading. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.